Welcome, everyone, to this meeting of Blue Quest Toastmasters. My name is Rupinder. I'll be officiating as a Sergeant at Arms and Tech Master for today. I will start by reciting the club mission statement. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. You're now inside the code of conduct of a Toastmasters meeting. As such, a few rules apply to you. Please be advised that the meeting is being recorded and that it may not be possible to pause the recording. The following are the meeting rules. Audience, please be advised that any behavior that disturbs the flow of the meeting will result in removal from the meeting room without any warning. Please ensure that your noise-making devices such as cell phones, tabs, laptops, kids, etc. are switched off or on silent mode. Please speak responsibly around religion, sex, and politics when you're speaking. As far as possible, keep your videos on, audios off, and applause flowing throughout. Toastmaster of the day, table topic master, general evaluator. Please ensure a smart audio video check before you hand off to respective role players. Okay. Please acquaint yourself with the role of the timer. The timer will either use background change or screen sharing to indicate time using one of three cards. Green means that you've reached the minimum qualifying time. Yellow indicates it's a good time to start concluding, and red specifies that you have 30 seconds or you will be disqualified. Individual session timings will be explained in due time. We encourage you to use the Zoom emoticons generously to encourage role players. We sincerely request you not to send chat messages to everyone or to the speaker on stage. Try to refrain from chatting altogether. Focus on the speaker. Reiterating, please stay on mute until specifically requested to unmute. Polls will be launched after each section and they will be closed after 30 seconds. Summarily, be the kind of audience you want for yourself when you are giving a speech. I will now introduce our presiding officer, who until yesterday had played a stellar role in ensuring renewals, and he's also ensured that we now have at least one more goal added to our march towards the Golden Gavel Award. Please welcome with a huge round of applause. I would like to call him the Supreme Leader, but today I'll just call him our club president, Toastmaster Kapil Kakkar.
Thank you, Rupinder. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, everyone, all the members and the guests. In our meeting number 555, I especially acknowledge the presence of our guests, Sumitra, TMP, Brian, and our general evaluator, Padma. I will come back to you in the later section of the meeting for your feedback. So tomorrow is the last day of our renewals. I guess most of our members have already renewed it, but for people who have not renewed it yet, I would recommend it to renew it today, because we never know how the website will perform on the last day. So it's advisable to renew the membership today itself. Coming to our meeting today, we are going to have some grammar lessons today. Idioms, right? Everybody likes it. So do I. To run the show, let me invite someone who is very generous. Last time when she performed as Timon, she gave me a monetary award because I answered one of her questions. So pay attention. You may win a grammar book this time. Okay, with huge round of applause, let's welcome Toastmaster of the Day, Sheila McIntyre. Sheila, over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, good evening, everyone, wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning or evening. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, I am excited for today's meeting. It is my privilege to welcome you to Blue Quest Toastmasters Club. We are still in Zoom land, which makes it exciting because I can be a part of it still. As I was thinking about today's theme, I really love the idea of idioms. Often we find ourselves trying to express our thoughts in a simple but graphic way. After all, a picture is worth 1,000 words, isn't it? Oh wait, isn't that an idiom too? With an idiom, you can't take the literal meaning of the words strung together. It's a group of words that means something figurative. And oftentimes it's colloquial, or it's local, something that has a local flair to the area in which you live. Although many of our idioms have made their way across the world. Oftentimes they are not translatable, which means that if you were to take each word and try and translate it, wouldn't make any sense. How many idioms do you think there might be in the English language? Chat it out. Tell me what you think in the chat. How many idioms do you think there are?
Millions.
Not quite millions.
No? 2,000?
It is in the thousands.
Or billion?
10,000.
Okay.
It is actually over 25,000. I love the 1029. Very specific. It is estimated there are over 25,000 idioms. While idioms can be confusing to people who have no idea what they mean, they actually can be super exciting and dynamic when we use them in our language. As humans, especially kids, those of you who have kids will know what I'm going to say. They are always asking, what's the question? Why? If you said why, pat yourself on the back. Good job. They are always asking why. It's their favorite question. So have you ever heard the idiom, mind your P's and Q's? How many of you have heard that phrase? Now, there are a variety of opinions as to what this means, but this is one of the things that has actually gotten me excited about idioms because I'd never thought of it before. Back in the day when there were printing presses, P's and Q's looked so similar that when they were putting the P's and Q's in line for the words, they had to be careful not to mix them up. They would say, mind your P's and Q's. So there you go. Next time you use that idiom, maybe you'll be thinking of printing presses. One more quick one. This one is a little bit more on the darker side, but how many of you have heard of graveyard shift, dead ringer, and saved by the bell? How many of you have heard of those particular idioms?
Repeat that.
Graveyard shift, dead ringer, and saved by the bell. Okay, so what do these phrases have in common? I'm glad you asked. For this, we go back to England, and this is again, but one possibility of the origin. If you look at the map, you'll see that England is rather small. They didn't have a lot of land to bury the dead bodies. What they would do is they would dig up existing coffins, they would take the bones to a bone house, and then they would reuse the grave. Sounds like a simple enough solution, except they found when they dug up the coffins, there were actually horrific scratch marks on the coffins. This indicates that the person had actually not been dead when they were buried. How horrible. So what they did was they came up with the idea of placing a string on the wrist of the corpse before it went into the coffin. That string would lead through the coffin up through the ground and was tied to a bell. That way, if they discovered that the person was indeed still alive, they could ring the bell or be a dead ringer and have a chance to be dug up if they were alive and thus saved by the bell. And someone would have to sit outside all night working the graveyard shift to listen for these bells. Now, I don't know if that was exactly how it worked, but it does make a lot of sense. They said there were a lot of patents from the 1800s through the early 1900s for hinges on coffins. At any rate, for clarification purposes, there isn't actually any record of anyone ringing the bell, but still. So one more to whet your appetite for this subject. Oh, did you catch it? Did you catch the idiom, whet your appetite? Ever hear of as cool as a cucumber? How many of you have heard of this one? All right, there's a bit of science behind this one. So where's my science people? This one's for you. The inside of a cucumber can be up to 20 degrees cooler than the room temperature. So tonight, I am looking for everyone to be as cool as a cucumber as we go through this meeting. The meeting is divided into 3 rounds. The prepared speech section, we have 2 tonight that are based on projects and paths that they are pursuing. The second one is the ever increasingly amazing table topic session where everybody is clamoring to pick a table topic. And we also have the evaluation round. So we have 3 great sections planned. Right now, I'm going to head over to the general evaluator, and it is as my duty and my honor as Toastmaster of the day to welcome General Evaluator Padma. I hand it over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. It was such a lovely start to the meeting. Today, my role is that of a general evaluator, and I am tasked with looking at how exactly we conduct this meeting and are there areas where we can do even better in upcoming meetings. And to help me in my role, I have a team. And let me call upon those team members one by one to explain what they would do. And at the end of all the reports, I would also be providing my own personal inputs as the general evaluator. And the first role is that of a timer. We have heard him already. Can I request Kapil to come up and explain his role of timer?
Thank you, General Evaluator Padma. As a timer of the meeting, I will be timing the speeches, table topics, and the evaluation section. For prepared speeches, I will be flagging green card at the end of 5 minutes, yellow card at the end of 6 minutes, and red card at the end of 7 minutes. For table topics, I will be flagging green card at the end of 1 minute, yellow card at the end of 1.5 minutes, and red card at the end of 2 minutes. For evaluations, I will be flagging green card at the end of 2 minutes, yellow card at the end of 2.5 minutes, and red card at the end of 3 minutes. I will be presenting my report in the last section when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you very much. Enjoy the meeting.
Thank you, Kapil. Our next role player is our counter, Khushbu. Can I request Khushbu to please explain her role?
Thank you, General Evaluator Padma. Same vaga devatiyam nivastu vadane sarvada suprasanna. This 4th part of a Sanskrit shloka about goddess Saraswati tells us that goddess Saraswati, who is the goddess of speech and sound, always resides on our tongue. And that's what it teaches us, that our words are energies and every word should be carefully used and come out from our mouth. So as an encounter of the day, my responsibility is to ensure that I test my listening skills as well as help you to use your words effectively. There are certain crutch words, useless words, meaningless words we often use unconsciously, like and, but, basically, therefore, then, so, and many more. So I'm going to keep a tough record of all these, and I've already recorded one. So ladies and gentlemen, mind your words, use them carefully, because your words are the most precious energies which are coming out, which are going to create a reality. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. I would say don't be terrified. Khushbu presents it as if it's going to be very strict. But when you look at her report, you will find that she's one of the most supportive Toastmasters. And thank you very much for taking up the role, Khushbu. For the next role, I have to do a little bit of Sherlock Holmes. I have not been told who's the grammarian, but I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to take a guess. And I hope that guess is going to be right. And I'm not going to tell you how I discovered that she is the grammarian for the day. Please welcome Elisa to explain the role of grammarian.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. You guessed correctly. Yes, I am the grammarian for today, and I will be tag teaming it along with Hushubu the ah counter. While she focuses on ahs, I will be focusing on that beautiful use of the English language. We have this extraordinary tool at our fingertips, and it's up to us to make the best use of it. Because specifically today we're talking about idioms, you have such a wonderful opportunity to use as many idioms as you possibly can. Our Toastmaster has already led the way. But to help us out, we have a word of the day, which is piece of cake. Piece of cake is an idiom. It means something easily done. A few examples of this word, of this idiom. Giving a speech was a piece of cake, or you make evaluations look like a piece of cake. What kind of idioms can you come up with and beautiful use? I'll be taking note and giving a report at the end of this meeting. Looking forward to it. Back over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Elisa. In addition to the roles and the reports, we will also have the table topics evaluation that I will provide as a part of the general evaluator report. And then in the end, I will come up and give my general observations as well. I look forward to a great meeting. Thank you very much. And for now, back to the Toastmaster of the day, Madam Sheila.
Thank you so much. Thank you, TAG team. Where would we be without an amazing network of supporters? Well, we are ready for our first prepared speaker. Our first speaker for this round will be attempting level 2 effective body language from the presentation mastery path. The speech's objective is to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or she uses nonverbal communication when delivering a speech. Evaluating the speech, we have Toastmaster Hope Williams, all the way from Hawaii. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Sumitra Dandapat. Sumitra Dandapat has, who is the winner? Who is the winner? Sumitra Dandapat.
Am I audible and visible?
You are.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Can I have a reply from you also? Let's come again. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
Good morning.
I know you all are eagerly waiting to know who is the winner for field medal, which is considered one of the highest award for any mathematician. So any guesses? Who is the winner for this year? Yes, Rupinder.
Oh, I thought you were asking what is the highest achievement in mathematics. That is the field prize.
Yeah,
Mathematics
so
doesn't have a Nobel Prize.
yes. So who is the winner for this year? Any guesses? No guesses. Okay.
Me.
Yeah.
Hope Williams.
Okay, Hope Williams. Great. Let's see who is the winner for this year. So now is the time to disclose who is the winner for this field medal this year. And this year, this award goes to someone who is very passionate, who is very energetic, young, talented, Professor Mathematician Abhijit Sharma. Let's give a big round of applause for Abhijit Sharma. Sir, please come into the podium and receive this award. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for honoring me with this award. But I had a doubt. Am I really deserve this award? In the year 1985, I got failed in my mathematics midterm. And my father was very anxious about me. So he tried to help me with lots of teachers, but no one able to stay more than a month because I was so naughty, so disturbing. Then one fine morning, I heard that our doorbell rang. So I just opened the door and saw there is an old man standing with shabby clothes. And he asked me to call my father. So I just went inside and called my father. Then on the next day, I saw the same old man came again. And this time, my father told me he is my new teacher. So he came into my room and sat in front of my desk. And suddenly, he just hold my hand and say, son, I'm not a mathematics teacher, but I need this job. Please help me. I was like, what? You are not a mathematics teacher? Then what are you doing here? This job. I'm poor. I need it. Please help me. So I thought, let's help this old man. And then on the next day, come with one mathematical problem and hand over it to me and say, please solve it for me because I need to give it the solution to another student. Otherwise, I'll lose my job. Every day something new story. Okay, let's try. So I tried for first time, second time, third time, fourth time, and fifth time. No, I cannot. I cannot. Please, I cannot solve this. This is too tough for me. Please try to understand. I need it. Otherwise, I'll lose my job. I tried for sixth time, seventh time, eighth time, ninth time, and yes, in 10th time, I will to solve that. Wow, I feel happy. And now I got confident also. This story continued for next 3-4 months. Every day he used to come up with one problem. I used to solve it. And finally, my exam also over. Result. And I know this time also same thing going to repeat. So I just went to school, collect my mark sheet. Without even looking into this, I just kept inside my bag and came back to my home. And then I hand over it to my father and went inside my room. And then suddenly I heard, Abhijit, where are you? Abhijit, where are you? What happened? Why were you shouting? Is this your mark sheet? Yes. Do you know how much you have scored in mathematics? You got 98. What? 98? Yes, I got 98 in mathematics. Then I realized, because of that old man, I try to solve that problem each and every day, which gave me confidence. And because of that, I got this 98 today. And I really looking for that man, but he was not present on that day, not even in the next day, not even in the month. So I was hopeless because I don't have his number, not his address. I don't know how I can thank this man. And then suddenly one afternoon, he came to my room and I was like, sir, where are you? I was looking for you. You know, because if you, I got 98 in mathematics. And he was like, I'm not going. Please try to understand. For last 1 month, I was in hospital. Just day before yesterday, I came back to my room and I came here because I want to hand over you few of my unfinished work. And I know you can do that. Just keep all this as of now. Once you complete your graduation, try to look into this thing. Then just left out from my room. So I kept its all documents safely. And so once I complete my graduation, I tried to look into this, what exactly it was. It was some mathematical area, or I can say the most difficult area, which no one want to touch. And this man tried to solve that. And now it's my responsibility to complete his work. So I tried for the last 10 years, day and night, tried, failed, and finally I will to solve it. And because of that only, today I'm getting this award. So, ladies and gentlemen, tell me, who is the winner for this award? Me or my teacher? What do you say, Timothy? What do you?
Thank you so much, Sumitra. Thank you. All right, timer, could we have a moment or could we have a minute on the clock so that we can give feedback to Sumitra? Remember that feedback is very important for those who give speeches, good and bad if you could balance both positive and constructive criticisms. That would be amazing. 1 minute, please.
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. I noticed that the light is reflecting off my glasses, so I actually thought about taking my glasses off, except I would be as blind as a bat. Where did that one come from? Before the 21st century, people used to believe that bats were blind because of their meandering flight patterns. I won't take my glasses off, sorry. The second speaker for tonight is none other than our veteran, Rupinder. Now, Rupi is the most persuasive and effective speaker I think that this club has. And he has a tough speech tonight. He will be attempting the level 4 managing a difficult audience project. Don't forget to be difficult. From the persuasive influence path. The speech's objective is to practice the skills needed to address audience challenges when he or she presents outside of the Toastmasters Club. Evaluating the speech will be Toastmaster Anna Whistler. Tonight, we have the 5 a.m. Club by Rupinder Singh. Rupinder Singh, the 5 a.m. Club. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Rupi.
Am I audible and visible?
Give me my coffee first. Give me my coffee.
I haven't started yet, Sharon, to hold your horses.
Mhm.
Yes, you are.
Just a quick clarification. Is it rupee or rupee?
Whichever way you want it.
Okay. So it's a collection of Naya Paisas.
I
Yeah.
love it when two distinguished Toastmasters
Yeah,
talk amongst
absolutely.
themselves. And I'm here to talk about distinguished Toastmasters only. All of us have the capability to be a distinguished Toastmaster. We just have to be part of a club, which is the 5 a.m. Club. Now, many of you must have
Crazy
read
to
that book.
Get a 5 a.m. club. Yeah, come on. You must be crazy to have a 5 a.m. club.
5 a.m. in which country, please?
5 a.m. in India, Indian Standard Time. Thank you, Padma and Sharendra. You get up at 4 a.m. So do not tell me that when do we get up at 5 a.m. So the 5 a.m. Club is actually a book written by a very famous author whose name eludes me. But the essence of the book is this.
Robin
If you get up at
Sharma.
5, thank you very much. If you get up at 5 a.m., as Robin Sharma says, as Padma says, if you get up at 5 a.m., then you will probably add another 24 hours to your day. But I'm not here to talk about adding another 24 hours to your day. I'm just going to propose something very simple. Blue Quest has a history. We started out meeting somewhere around 10 o'clock in the morning. That meeting time got pushed back to 9:30 a.m. And then we came back to 8:30 a.m. And right now we are meeting every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Indian Standard Time. My proposal, let's meet at 5 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Now I know a
You're an
lot.
owl. We know you're an owl, but that doesn't mean that all of us should do that.
I know that I am going to meet with a lot of opposition, and leading the charge is our distinguished Toastmaster Shaurendra Bhaumik. I promise you, whatever questions you have, whatever doubts you have, by the end of this speech, they will be completed if you let me finish. Let me enumerate.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Thank you, Shaurendra. What could I do without you?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Just one
really mean
question.
that
Just
without
one
me?
question. In these times of pandemic, I would rather that you tell us a strategy to make 24 hours look like 5 hours. Time just doesn't pass, Rupinder.
The answer is sleep, Padma, but that is the subject of another speech. But here are the advantages of having a 5 a.m. club. First of all, no club meets on Wednesday at 5 a.m. And now you might say that, yeah, they don't do that for a reason because they have sane people inside that club, not insane people. But as Steve Jobs will tell you, the best ideas are the most insane ones. You have to come to a meeting for 5 a.m., which means you're getting up at 4 a.m. And if you go through Indian scriptures, the 4 a.m. hour is the optimal hour for being the most productive. If you wake up at 4 a.m., you will accomplish twice as much in a day as you would if you would wake up after 4 a.m. So that is my first and foremost reason. You wake up at 4, you're ready for the meeting by 5 a.m. I know that this is going to be difficult. I know that a lot of ideas are coming inside your heads as to how we can go about and challenge Rupinder on this. Please go ahead and challenge, and I have an answer for each of your questions.
I don't have a challenge. It's my dog which is having a challenge. Poor guy has to get up at
dog-
4 o'clock and I have to take him out for a walk at that time.
Your
That is
dog-
something which is going to be difficult.
Your
And the
dog
security
can-
guy is going to be difficult.
Your dog can be our sergeant at arms. I'm pretty sure Sheila is tired of saying the same things over and over again. Your security guard, get him here. I am the vice president, public relations of this club. I will have him enrolled as a member.
What
Moving on.
happens if we don't? What happens if we don't want to be more productive and we just want to sleep in bed and snuggle with our kitties?
It will be not 5 a.m. your time, Sheila. It will be 5 a.m. our time. So, and we don't have kitties. The second and the more important reason is that we will get rid of excuses. What are excuses? The things you want to you give to stay away from meeting. I'm traveling. I have office. You will not have office at 5 a.m. Not the saner ones. I have COVID. I'm not saying you don't have COVID at 5 a.m., but at least you're not going for a vaccine at 5 a.m. in the morning and falling sick after that. Because I can count on fingers. Some of the Toastmasters I've known have had vaccines done 5 or 6 times. It is equivalent to my grandfather died, only that the grandfather has died 3 or 4 times and resurrected and then come back again to die conveniently at a later. So we get rid of all those excuses. No excuses at 5 a.m.
One clarity.
Either the time
One
is 10
clarity.
to 15 minutes. I don't know why you are showing me the time at 5 minutes, but yes, Shaurendra, what is the clarity you seek? Seek and we shall find.
A doctor says you must sleep for 8 hours, which means if I get up at 4 o'clock, I have to go off to sleep at 8 o'clock in the evening.
You know what else the doctor said, Shaurendra?
Which is going to be very difficult because there's so much of work to do.
You know what else the doctor said, Shaurendra?
Yeah.
In 2005, I had severe backache. The doctor made me go through 15,000 rupees worth of tests. He could not find anything. At the end, do you know what he said to me? He said, I think you're overweight. As if I could not figure that out all by myself. So do not believe doctors. Let's move on.
Oh, we don't believe doctors. Okay. Okay, take it. Take it.
Okay. What is a typical day going to look like if we meet at 5 a.m. for Indians? We meet from 5 to 6:30. 6:30 is an excellent time to go for your morning jog, your morning walk, to your gymnasium if you have one. If you want to go swimming, you come back by 8 o'clock, you take your shower, you have your breakfast, and you are ready for the day. That is your biggest advantage. So
But-
I am
But
standing.
Anna is planning to go back to sleep at that time.
Anna is not sleeping at that time. For Anna, it will be 7:30 in the evening when she meets. The meeting gets over at 9 o'clock her time, which is an excellent time to get to sleep. And if Anna wants, Anna can have dinner while we are going through our meeting. That if
My
that
nap
is not
time,
an
Rupi.
No?
That's my nap time pre-meeting.
who sleeps at 7:30 in the evening? Anna, you don't. I've tried to call you so many times and you've responded. You've responded to my WhatsApp message. Please don't tell me that is not your, that is your me time. But summarily, here is my proposal. Instead of 7:45, let us start meeting at 5 a.m. so that we become the 5 a.m. club. Madam
Vetoed.
Toastmaster.
Vetoed.
Good job.
Sorry, really made your life miserable. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Rupi.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, and that is an idiom.
Yes, but I'm the TTM today.
Thank you, Rupi, and thank you to all of our Toastmasters in the club today that were giving feedback and interjecting questions for our speaker. It was very entertaining. All right, a minute for feedback. Timer, could I please have you count down a minute and show the red card when 1 minute is up? Please give feedback. Good feedback and constructive criticism to our speaker. Remember, feedback is super helpful. All right, thank you so much. All right, we are on to the next section of our meeting. Who is ready? Nobody's ready? We have 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. Everybody's coming off of that excitement from the last speech. This is your chance to shine. Table topics are your chance for impromptu speaking. We have tonight a veteran as well for table topics. I expect nothing less than stellar topics for this part of our meeting. Over to our distinguished Toastmaster, or our distinguished table topics master, Surinder Bhowmick.
Thank you so much, DMOD Sheila McIntyre. Well, as the theme is idioms, let's use that for our various table topics. As you know, the time allocated is between 1 to 2 minutes, and you have an extension of another 30 seconds. That's a buffer time. So you will see the green card going up at the end of 1 minute, yellow card at the end of 1 minute, 30 seconds, and the red card, that is to tell you that you should now stop, is at the 2 minute mark, and then you get an extension of another 30 seconds, and beyond that, you get disqualified. Now, let's start, and there you are. Hope Williams is hopefully waiting to see what it's all going to be. But as far as I'm concerned, it's all Greek to me. So your topic is, it's all Greek to me.
Thank you, Surendra. It's all Greek to me. Am I hearing you correctly? Greek as in the great philosophers from Greece? Is this, I'm asking, is this, it's all Greek to me? Well, I'm going to make it all Greek to me. This is how you work a table topic. Because when I heard the word Greek, I thought of feta cheese and a wonderful Greek salad, which is Greek and great to me. Take some nice fresh plum tomatoes, red, firm, not too firm. Squeeze them, they should be nice like a young man's bicep. Give a little, not too much. Throw in some nice salty feta cheese, sprinkle it on and add in a nice crisp cucumber. And that's Greek to me. That is a Greek salad that nourishes my body, gives me the crunch I need, and keeps the waistline nice, slim, and taut. Piece of cake, right? It's all Greek to me. Madam Table, Sir Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hope Williams, the way you turned it around. This phrase actually comes from Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, and it actually means for others that this might be a foreign language because I don't understand. That's basically how this phrase come. Now, Kapil, let's give a penny to them. Your topic, a penny for them.
Okay, thank you, table topic master. Okay, so penny to them, it could be a token of appreciation, while the amount doesn't matter, but the gesture, the pure gesture that we get from the sender is the most important thing. Now, I remember that in a competition, I sang one song, and I don't have that beautiful voice. I was the last person. I believe I got last position. People got awards. Some got cash award, but I got penny, and that too encouraged me to participate in even more competitions because it was a kind of encouragement to me. It probably it was a penny for that particular person, but it was a huge award for me. I still keep that penny with me. It is there in my wallet, and I find it that it gives me that kind of an encouragement, even if I don't know the things. For example, I don't know whether I understood this topic correctly or not, but it still gives me that confidence. I'm looking at that particular penny, and it is giving me that confidence. So Kapil, that yes, you can speak up and you can achieve whatever you want. So penny, as I said, it may be penny, it may be a little amount for someone, but person who is receiving, it could be a huge encouragement. Thank you. Over to you, tabletop.
Thank you, Kapil. I love that. In idiom terms, a phrase like penny for them is said when one is trying to find out what another person is thinking. It is actually a slight variation from mentioning a penny for your thoughts. So that's how the context is. So let's now get Keith. Keith, interested? Your topic. Are you a man or a mouse? Your topic is, are you a man or a mouse?
Am I a man or a mouse? Well, it depends who's asking. Perspective is very subjective. Most may say I'm a man, but if you ask an alien, they may see me as a mouse. I don't understand the idioms or the perspective of an alien or someone out of space, but I would assume that it may not be exactly the way I want them to view me. Another way to look at this question is to ask, is size and power. Men are usually known to be strong and powerful, and mouses or mice are weak and small. But I want to remind us that strength is not always in size, but strength comes in the heart. So there may be a mouse who is stronger than a man, because it's not the size of the fight, of the lion in the fight, but it's the size of the fight in the lion. I say all that to say that I am a man, not a mouse. I am strong, I am powerful, I am a man.
Oh, Keith, you were wonderful. Again, in the idiom terms, are you a man or a mouse is actually whether you are bold and brave or timid and cowardly. Actually, I read this very recently in a book called Scholar House of Woman. I think it's a very old writing where they have written that, fear not, she shall unto her spouse, a man or a mouse, whether ya be. This is a 16th century right. I think I don't remember the writer, but it caught my eyes, and I think I remembered that and wrote it down. And that's how it has come. Ashok, something for you?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure as an egg? Your idiom is sure as an egg.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful idiom. And I'm still trying to make out what it means. But as as this idiom is sure as a egg, I think it means that when you look at an egg, it has certain outcomes associated with it. So this is something which has sure as an egg. Not sure, not able to think. Not able to think anything on this topic. Will you be able to change the idiom?
Give it time. Your new idiom is give it time.
No, give it time. Thank you. See, I think this is a brilliant topic to talk. Give it a time, because time is something which is very much required for every good thing to happen. Things doesn't happen overnight. Things doesn't happen in moments. In moments, generally only accidents happens. But when we talk about great things to happen, they take years and years, and that ways people reach to those outcomes. We talk about India freedom fight movement, it took 200 years. If we talk about researches done for the humanity in medical, they took many years. Although this corona vaccine, because this corona hit the entire world, and the scientists from the entire world get into vaccine, still they took good time. So give it a time is basically not only an idiom, but this is an approach. This is a way of life. And whenever you get into a problem, whenever you get into a struggle, the best thing we can do is to give it a time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ashok. I love that. Let me give you the interpretation of the first one, sure as an egg. It's a phrase which is used to describe something that is definitely going to happen.
Okay.
And you rightly said, give it time is to wait to give a definite judgment on something or solution, often used as a phrase for encouragement.
Okay. Thank you.
Who wants to go next? Right, Shomitra. Shomitra, let's see you use your best foot forward. Your topic, best foot forward.
Best foot forward, right?
That's right.
When I was born, my mother used to say, just try a little bit, just try a little bit. Give your foot forward so that you come a little bit close to me. And she used to go a little bit far and ask me, come closer, come closer. So that's the way start encouraging me to foot forward myself to achieve something. This maybe that time to achieve my mother holding her hand, but in life I have this opportunity several times, because in anything we want to achieve, you first need to move forward. Take your first step towards that, then only you can achieve. Now let me tell you one simple story about my life. So I can say that the journey which I started in Toastmaster, before that, just 1 year back, when I was not in Toastmaster, I was like a very shy guy. And whenever I used to go in any party or anywhere, I used to stay very some place where people should not notice and don't talk to me. So that's my way of thinking that time, because I thought that I am not so good with public speaking and I'm not able to interact, especially with girls. I always keep a safe distance. But somehow, when I joined this Toastmaster, maybe that initial 1 month is same thing, but then my mentor helped me and tell me that, Soumitra, let's move forward. Give your first step, give your first speech. So once I give my first stage and something miracle happened, I got the best speaker award. And from that day onward, I always come to this podium again and again, because this is the only place where I can speak for 5 to 7 minutes without interruption. Because in home, whenever I try to talk, my wife, shut up, don't say all this bullshit to me. So I was like, okay, I have only one place. And that's the reason maybe for last 1 month, I am joining, this is my 22nd meeting. I'm joining in different clubs throughout the world. And I want to move forward, because I have a goal to join, to become someone who can be recognized as a Toastmaster also. So what do you say, our TTM Toastmaster Shurendra?
Thank you. That was lovely. I would like to interpret this as a phrase when used when one is trying to present an ideal version of oneself, typically to try to impress others, often used in the phrase, put your best foot forward. That's how this word has come. Cuckoo, you're very quiet today. We can't see you. Can you put on your video, please?
Not
Okay.
now. Sorry.
Okay. Because this is very apt for you. The phrase that you need to work on is, if looks could kill. Topic is, if looks could kill.
I don't see parents doing that magical power nowadays. And that's the magical power of the look. I quiver when that look is given to me by my late mom. And you could feel it. It pierces through your nape, even if you don't, it's like just, it doesn't have to be like Medusa that you have to do eye to eye. You can feel that my mom is staring at you. And that look means stop what you're doing or else you're going to get it from me. And among my cousins, that's being practiced by moms. If that look is not strong enough, there's going to be a shushing sound. Psst. Huh? But nowadays, I see my nieces, my grandkids, and strangers' children stare back and try to outpower the look that used to stun me. Being a parent and disciplining your kids is not a piece of cake anymore. Some rules of engagement have changed. But I appreciate that look that my mom gave me, the look that could kill, because it made me a more disciplined person. It made me kinder and aware of how my actions may affect others. Thank you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Katul. The expression used when someone makes an angry or unpleasant face at someone and indicates that such an expression represents hostility. But you did a great job there. Anna, but then you are the best thing since sliced bread. Anna, your topic is best thing since sliced bread. Over to you.
Right before this meeting, Rupinder and I were having this debate. He said he was the best thing, and I said, no, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. I think it's quite evident when we look at his speech and the fact that you guys will all listen to me and not disrupt my speech, but I'll save that evaluation for later. I will tell you what, though, there is not a thing in this world that a bright smile, blonde hair, blue eyes cannot solve. A witty joke, or perhaps just even a piece of cake. Most any of that is going to be better than just a slice of bread. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sandwiches? That's the meat of life. We need that. Pieces of meat and cheese or mayonnaise spreading the bread. I promise. This smile, these eyes, and some cerulean is definitely better than sliced bread. Thank you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Anna. Actually, the meaning of this phrase is a good idea or plan, an excellent new invention. You could use it as, I love your idea, it's the best thing since sliced bread. Now, who's going to take it? Yeah, Sheila. Please don't count your chickens before the eggs have hatched. Your topic, Sheila, is don't count your eggs before don't count your chickens before the eggs have hatched. Over to you, Sheila.
Don't count your chickens before the eggs have hatched. How true is this statement? How many times have I gone through my life thinking this will happen and that will happen and this will happen, and I get all excited only to be disappointed? That happened a lot as a child. As an adult, I have learned not to count my chickens before they hatch. As an adult, you learn that oftentimes when you think all these amazing and exciting things will happen, you quickly learn the world doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, children have this amazing ability to look at the positive and to see all the good things that are to come their way. I think as we get older, unfortunately, we lose a lot of that excitement. And how sad is that? Instead, we've allowed disappointment and counting our chickens before they hatch. We've allowed some of those things to warp our views. Maybe we need to go back to those days of childhood, and we need to reignite that excitement and to look at things in a whole brand new way. And maybe counting our chickens before they hatch does cause us to be disappointed, but it certainly does make life a lot more exciting. Over to you.
Thank you, Sheila. That was great. Now let me give a piece of cake to Alyssa. Alyssa, up for it?
Yes. What's my topic?
A piece of cake for you is bite off more than you can chew. Bite off more than what you can chew.
Let me just say, you will never bite off more than you can chew if you're eating this piece of cake. There's all kinds of delicacies in life that we can enjoy. I remember going on a cruise ship and they had so much food laid out on the buffets. There was no way to imagine how much you were going to eat. And certainly in that case, you might find yourself biting off more than you can chew. Here's what happens with us. When we want to load our plate full of delicious delicacies, our eyes are bigger than our stomachs. We walk up to that buffet line, we see lime cheesecake, crumpled butternut biscuits, and that delicious key lime pie with shortcake bread on the side. And we just want a slice of each. You want to eat your piece of cake when you see it. But the question is, once you're done loading up your plate with such a brilliant palette of colors, whether it be that bright yellow, orange, green, or blue, it looks like a rainbow, but will it fit all the way through? Isn't that the question? And ultimately, when I went on that cruise ship, I discovered that indeed I had at times bitten off more than I can chew. But there is always the exercise ring that you can go on. This is what you do. You exercise for the next half hour, get all of those calories out of your system, and then you go back for more. Because this is the thing about cruise ships. The pieces never end. They are endless. Maybe that's a problem. But maybe that's why cruise ships only last 7 days. Because otherwise, you might be so heavy, you might not fit off that cruise line at all. Might be a little too big for the door if you've bitten off too much than you can chew. That's why I recommend being very, very careful when you walk on that cruise line, restaurant, or any other location that you choose to enter. Make sure that your eyes are not bigger than your stomach. Because if you take too many pieces of cake, well, you may have bitten off more than you can chew. Thanks. Over to you, Surinder.
Thank you. Couple, how am I doing on time?
We've got one last topic as far as the number of topics go, but we are doing very well on time.
So I actually have a whole lot of topics, and we have 3 of us who have not completed it or have not done it.
Yeah, but the polls won't support it. So,
okay. Okay. So the last one, who wants to be there? Khushbu is there, Padma and Rupinder. Anyone who wants to take it on? Rupinder. Khushbu, why are you looking so low and out?
is that my topic?
No, I'm just asking.
Please tell me that is my topic. I can do a very good topic on that.
No. Your topic cannot be such simple things. Since this is the last table topic, your topic today is Elvis has left the building. The idiom is Elvis has left the building.
My last day in my academic curriculum, I was at the hostel, and a lot of you will not understand this, but I was a person from Delhi studying in a university in Punjab. The best analogy for that is a person from India studying in the US, always considered as an outsider, although US is more accepting. And for them, Delhi was a person from Delhi was someone who was not always welcome. And I was made to feel that throughout the 5 years that I had spent in in the Department of Mathematics in my hostel. So they had this thing where they would have a lavish dinner for people who were going, and then people would be called up to speak. I was given some sentences which I must include. I must thank the warden, I must thank this person, I must thank that person. But I looked upon it as an opportunity. So what I did, I packed my bags, number one. I was ready to go. When I was called upon to speak, I gave them my peace of mind. And I said that you make people feel so unwelcome just because they are from a different place. The only privilege that you people enjoy is that you were born in a certain place, into a certain caste, and that was just a very small probability. You're just enjoying that probability. You get to enjoy that privilege. But the moment some of you go to Australia and the Australians yell at you, or when you go to Canada and the Canadians yell at you, you start crying racism, racism. Well, this is racism. Now, I knew that if I had given that speech any other time, I would get beaten up. But this time, Elvis had spoken for the last time and he left the building. Mr. Topics Master.
Thank you. You know, this particular idiom was given to me by a lady in Denmark while we were at a rock show. And I got back because Elvis was no more at that time. And I got back and looked at it and wanted to find out what it really meant. And I was quite curious. And it said that the show has come to an end. It's all over, which means that the program is over and you're still looking for something which is going to happen. And a very strong message which comes across. And I think when I close the table topics today, I can use this phrase as Elvis has left the building, which shows that the table topics have come to an end. It's now all over and you guys can relax. Over to you. That was Alyssa. Over to you to carry forward the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great table topic, Surrender. Thank you so much. Rupi, I thought you were going to give a really funny speech and it was really somber. But I just wanted to say, anyone who is in this Toastmasters meeting always feels welcome. So you have done an excellent job of making sure nobody feels left out. So thank you for that. All right, there are polls to be had. Please make sure you vote for the best table topic. I will give you a moment to do that. As you are finishing that up, I wonder who tonight will be the bigwigs. Curious about that? What is a bigwig, by the way? A bigwig, if you don't know, is someone who is thought to be prominent, the head honcho, somebody who's prominent in a certain area. How many of you have heard of that one? A few of you. My question is, do you know where it comes from? Back in the early days, men and women used to take baths only twice a year. Ew, right, twice a year. Women would cover their hair so it didn't get dirty. Men would shave their heads and wear wigs. They couldn't wash their wigs. So what they would do is hollow out a loaf of bread, stick the wig inside, and you guessed it, they would bake it. Why, you may ask? killing any bugs or lice that may be in the wigs. Aren't you glad we don't live in this day and age? The wig would come out big and fluffy due to the moisture and heat inside the loaf of bread. That is how we came to the term big wig. One more. How about don't throw the baby out with bathwater? How many have heard that one? Isn't that crazy? That idiom? Doesn't that seem crazy? Well, not really when you think about it. It comes from a time when people used the same bathwater. First the Lord would bathe, then the men, then the lady, the women, the children, and the babies last. By that time, the water was so dirty, there was a risk of throwing out the baby with the bathwater. So they said, don't throw the baby out with bathwater. It's crazy how we use these idioms in everyday life. When you start paying attention, you'll notice how many of them we actually do use in everyday language. The last few days, as I was thinking about this, I started paying attention. And as I was talking to my mom today, she used 2 or 3 in about 5 minutes. And I kept saying, Mom, that was an idiom. That was an idiom. You don't realize how many you use. The next part of our meeting is the general evaluation. This is part of the meeting that we all look forward to as we get feedback on our speeches and on our meeting in general. Not only will our speakers benefit from our evaluators, but we will be hearing from our general evaluator. At this time, I would like to pass the baton over, virtual baton that is, over to our general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Padma. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. A quick question before I start. Who is evaluator number 1, please?
That would be me, Hope Williams.
Sheila, is it?
No, Hope.
It is
Hope,
Hope.
Hope, okay.
Yes.
Hope.
H-
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. We come to the most important section of a Toastmasters meeting. And I'm not saying this because I am in charge of this section. One of the unique aspects in Toastmasters is that we get instantaneous and motivating feedback to speeches that we give. And today we will have our prepared speakers, evaluators come in and give their evaluations first, followed by the role players who would come and give their respective reports. And I will then provide the table topics evaluations, then general observations as well. So let's get started. The first evaluation will be by Hope Williams. She will be evaluating Toastmaster Soumitra. Over to you, Hope.
Thank you, Padma. This will be pretty easy peasy. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So let me stop beating around the bush and get right to it. I will be evaluating who is the winner. And I'm ready to get this show on the road. Soumitra, thank you for sharing. You opened and excelled with a beautiful opening. Good morning. Your voice was raised. You brought the energy up in the meeting. We were engaged. We were brought in. You repeated it. Good morning. Exemplary features, big eyes, big smile, very engaging. I was hooked. You set the tone and the energy stayed high. Great job. Let me bite the bullet and continue. Your uplifted tone and crowd participation continued with the engagement with the crowd. You asked us questions. You were looking directly at us. This camera was no longer a camera to you. You were looking directly at your audience and you excelled at connecting with us. You excelled at keeping us engaged. I felt a part of your story when you acted out your younger self, speaking to your teacher. You changed positions, you bent down, you acted the role. I was engaged. Great job. Excellent use of not only your body, your voice, and your cadence. I would like to point out your vocal variety and the speed of your voice changed, and it really built a story of where you were. Excellent job. I also loved you used the word hopeless. Fantastic word. Your opening was just as engaging as your closing. You asked us a question. Is this award for me, or is this award for my teacher? Fantastic job. You were on the ball. It was so good. The only two areas I would call on you to possibly work on is be mindful of your voice. Due to the fact that we are on camera, at times the elevated pitch pixelated your tone. And I was so engaged, I was unaware, I was unable to hear words when the tone was elevated to a pitch that pixelated your voice. And my only other challenge to you is to do a thorough technology check prior. There was a slight feedback which took away from this engaging content. I am proud that you made 98%, and it was easy peasy to evaluate you. Continue. Thank you for sharing. An excellent job. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Hope Williams. That was a measured and well-paced evaluation, which is very motivating. Thank you so very much. Next, we have one great thing since sliced bread, evaluating another nice thing since sliced bread. Toastmaster Anna, evaluating Toastmaster Rupinder.
Thank you, General Evaluator Padma. When I volunteered to take this position, I knew that evaluating your speech, Rupinder, was not going to be a piece of cake. But I didn't imagine it being this difficult when I was so full of laughter and trying to contain myself to keep my notes. So let me dig in. At first, I thought this was rehearsed. Whether you have just a close relationship with Padma and Surendra that you guys can banter back and forth and make it so seamless. But I almost feel like you guys should be starting to take a comedic tour on the road with this instead of just doing it on Toastmasters. But despite that all, the first piece is that you were persistent. You kept centering it back to your main point. You didn't stop, you didn't hesitate, and you didn't back down at any point in time, which was the main purpose of the speech. So check mark, you accomplished that. A couple of things that we can continue on. Here in Texas, or in the South, we have an idiom that's bless your heart. Here it means you're so stupid, shut up. But in a nice way, we say this. So I would have encouraged you to maybe combine some of that in there. Bless your heart, and then continued on with your speech. I would have also gotten to a point of smiling when you know you're being interrupted. Just smile, nod, you know, like you do when you're listening to your wife. Or I would have taken a little bit more control of, please hold your questions to the end. It got a little carried away, and I felt as though suddenly we were in this comedic piece when we were listening to you speak, but I really did feel like you had that control. Something to challenge yourself on. I felt like your idea was great. You were focused on what you wanted. I would have provided a personal experience. such as when I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I realize that I'm able to get such and such done and add pieces that may be more applicable to the audience. And I really liked the fact that even though you had put it as a 10 to 15 minute speech, the timer was not aware of that, and you minimized what you were going to say to make it fit within time limits. So that right there shows excellence. Overall, it's very humorous. I know I was laughing, and I appreciate the idea of setting the meeting up at 5 a.m., but I don't think that the rest of the group is ready for that yet. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anna. It was great that you observed the comedic timings, but let me assure you, it was not a pre-orchestrated performance. In fact, I wonder whether Rupinder even knew that I was going to interrupt him. Now, having heard the evaluators giving their evaluation speeches, let's move into the next section, which is a report by the tag team. May I invite timer Kapil to please give the timer's report.
Sure, thank you, G. Padma. Let me share my timing chart. All right. So as T mode, Sheila took 4 minutes 22 seconds, and Padma as G, you took 5 minutes 55 seconds, including a tag rule explanation. Speakers both were within time limits, under 7 minutes 30 seconds, so both qualified. Regarding table topics, everybody qualified, everybody was under 2 minutes 30 seconds. And regarding evaluation, Hope took 3 minutes 40 seconds, and I think she got overboard by 10 seconds. Anna is within time limits, under 3 minutes, that is 2 minutes 20 seconds. That's it. Padma, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kapil. May I now request our Ha counter, Khushbu, to please present her report. Is Khushbu in the house? Yes.
I'm there. I'm on
Yes.
turn my video.
Yes.
Yeah, here is my report. Is my screen visible?
It's getting there. Yeah, now it's visible.
Okay. Okay, so we use our words very judiciously today, and I had really difficult time to catch the filler words, but thank you so much. A lot of people has given me enough scope for me to do my job. So Toastmaster Kapil, you use 3 irrelevant pauses and 2 so's, and you repeated it many times. Toastmaster Sheila, you used one time and 3 irrelevant pauses. Nothing from Toastmaster Rupinder, Padma, and Elissa. And Toastmaster Surinder, you used 1 very. Toastmaster Anna, you used once. Toastmaster Hope, you used irrelevant pauses in your table topic 2 times. And Toastmaster Soumitra, you used in your speech 3 times, and very in your table topic, and just once. And I was like, you have repeated 3 times in your table topic. Toastmaster Ashok, you used 5 times 3 times so, 3 times but, 3 irrelevant pauses, 1 time basically, 1 time see, and you repeated not able to think 3 times. Toastmaster Keith, you used, you repeated it is 3 times, and Toastmaster Kuku, you used but 1 time. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Khushbu. May we now invite Grammarian Eliza to present us her piece of cake. That's one more usage. Your piece of cake, Toastmaster Eliza.
Thank you so much. Today we did have a piece of cake in terms of the grammarian report. And in terms of the word of the day, we had Hope, Kuku, Anna, who used it twice, Surendra, and myself, we used it all a few times. So congratulations to everybody. You did a wonderful job. I hope it was a piece of cake for you. In terms of how our grammarian report looks, hopefully you can see my screen. We've got a lot of beautiful sentences. I'll just read a few for each person. Sheila, it was a downpour of idioms from you. You gave us such a fantastic example. Graveyard shift, saved by the bell, picture worth 1,000 words, whet your appetite, cool as a cucumber. On and on and on it goes. Thank you so much for presenting to us what that looks like, not just talking about it, but exemplifying it. Sumitra, passionate, dedicated, outstanding in mathematics. A few grammar checks. Not mathematician, you are not a mathematician. Confident also, we would switch that and say, I also got confident. Which give me confidence would be which gave me confidence, and so on. You can take a look at those. Rupi, 5 a.m. club, whose name eludes me, leading the charge. First and foremost reason, revenge is a dish best served cold. Lavish dinner, etc. Quick corrections, count on fingers would be count on my fingers. Peace of mind is peace, I gave them a piece of my mind. Surendra, again with your table topics. It's all Greek to me, penny to them, am I a man or a mouse, bold and brave, sure as an egg, give it time, best foot forward, and so on. Thanks again, we learned a lot more about that topic. Recommendation, they have written that. It's easier to say they wrote. We simplify by using fewer words, it's easier to follow what you're saying. That's how it has come, that is the origin. Again, as we speak, it's about finding the simplest way for us to transmit our ideas. The more words we use, the quicker we'll lose our audience. So simplify and be specific. Hope, Greek and great. Fresh plum tomatoes gives me the crunch I need. Easy peasy, nothing to it but to do it. Stop beating around the bush. Pixelated, your voice. Oh my goodness gracious. Next time I'll ask you for a few idioms. I won't go to Google. Keith, perspective is very subjective. Strength is not only size. Quick correction, strength comes in the heart, might be strength comes from the heart. Ashok, not able to think, I'm not able to think. Give it a time would be give it time. And then they took good time, they took a good amount of time. Cuckoo, magical power of the look. Quiver, my actions affect others. Anna, nothing in the world, a bright smile, blonde hair, blue eyes can't solve. Meat of life, cerulean, dig in, make it seamless, comedic tour, persistent. Fantastic. The only one I can think of, eyes bigger than your stomach. You've all done an amazing job using idioms today. I hope that it has been instructive and educational for you all. Thanks again so much. This grammarian report has definitely been a piece of cake. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. That was truly delicious serving of a piece of cake. Now, is this the stage at which I give the table topics evaluations?
Actually, yeah, it was before the tag team reports, but you can go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I just took a moment to vote. All right. Now, table topics. First off, brilliant topics today. Brilliant topics. I really loved it. It was entertaining and educational. At least for me, about 30–40% of the topics were fairly new. And those that I don't normally use. And therefore, it was great education as well, while throughout it turned out to be very entertaining. Hope Williams spoke about all Greek to me. There was a quick recovery. She tried to ask a clarifying question, but she did not get a response, and intentionally so. And then she gathered her wits and immediately went about, which was excellent. I love the use of young man's biceps and the interpretation of it's all Greek to me to Greek salad, which she was familiar with, and she went about explaining the entire recipe, including cucumber. And waistline, nice, slim, taut. Wow, What an evocative and what a vivid description. Very well done. Kapil, give a penny for them. Very nice interpretation as a token of appreciation. It's not the size that matters, but the gesture. And singing a song, 1 a penny. I almost said 2 a penny hot cross buns. It was brilliant that you talked about how you won a penny. And I don't know if I understood the topic, came almost at the very end. Potentially you could have avoided it because you already aced the topic and you did a great job. So admitting at the end that I did not understand the topic, or maybe I did not understand the topic, was not called for, in my opinion. Keith, man or mouse? Brilliant start, depends on who is asking. And the first thing that came to my mind is, if it is your spouse, the answer is obvious. And a beautiful twist to say that when aliens ask, it could be potentially they look at me from their perspective as a mouse. And it's nice in terms of the strength or the size of the lion in the fight is not what matters. The size of the fight in the lion. I've earlier heard it said about dogs. It's not the size of the dog in the fight that matters. It is the size of the fight in the dog. But animals don't really matter. It is the use of these sentences and expressions that really matter. Very well done, Keith. Ashok, sure as an egg. Interpretation was very immediate. Though you started off saying, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what it really means. But you went about and said, okay, let me give it a shot. And in between, you said, I can't think of anything more. So the supportive table topics master immediately gave you an additional topic that you could talk about, give it time, and nicely linked both the things, sure as egg as well as give it time. So very well done. And a beautiful close where you said, give it time is not just an idiom. It is an approach. It's a way of life. Brilliant treatment. Shamitra, best foot forward. You started off in an emotional note, like your mom who encouraged you to take one more step towards her, evoked a lot of memories in me, and it was a brilliant start. So the use of the word shy guy, I liked it because it was kind of rhyming, shy guy, and you maintained safe distance from girls, but then with encouragement, you started moving forward towards the best girls. No, sorry, best speaker award. So nicely done. Cuckoo, if looks could kill, you killed even without showing us how you look today. And you words starting with, the word called quivered. I quivered when my mom gave me that look. And even that evocative thing saying it need not be based on eye-to-eye contact. Even the eye piercing the nape of the neck could potentially be very discomforting. Very nicely presented. And it is a very brilliant speech that you gave. Anna, of course, the best thing that happens in sliced bread. It was a nice talk in terms of comparing Rupinder and herself in terms of who is the best thing since sliced bread. Very nicely spoken. I love the use of this bright smile, blonde hair, blue eyes, everything starting with the blue and saying a person with these can definitely overpower anybody else. And obviously between Anna and Rupinder, we know who has the blonde hair, the blue eyes, but bright smile, I think both of them match. Anyway, Sheila, don't count your chickens before they are hatched. I liked that, the journey that you took us from saying high excitement over something leading to disappointment when it does not happen. So the journey was very nicely explained. And you said the world doesn't work that way. So we need to change our perspective. And you also brought in children's ability to really look at things positively. And you closed on a very positive note that if you are able to get back to that children's mindset, I think we will be very happy. Brilliantly done. Elisa, a piece of cake, biting off more than you can chew. You took it on a cruise ship, and you said we load our plates with rainbow colored, food items on our plate. Very nicely done. And you also gave us the antidote saying exercise for half an hour, then you can really fill up your plate once again. Rupinder, Elvis has left the building. Now, this is one of those things that doesn't get used very frequently, but Rupinder did a good job by inventively. I mean, you can also say, like an escapist, he also tried to give his own interpretation of his last day in hostel and how he used that opportunity when nobody could, pursue him or beat him. The last speech that he gave them a piece of his mind and said, Elvis, meaning Rupinder, is now leaving the building. Very nicely treated. However, it was not directly related to the meaning for the proverb itself, which Saurendra explained later. So hats off again to Saurendra that he waited for speakers to have their own interpretation and only told us the actual meaning at the end of every speaker's speech. Brilliantly done. So that is my evaluation of the table topic section. Very interesting session today. And finally, for the general evaluators' remarks. Meeting started promptly on time. I think everyone today performed their role to perfection. All the tag role team players really came up with their best foot forward, and speakers gave beautiful speeches. Evaluations were very supportive, very motivating, and all in all, very pleasant experience to be in this meeting. If I have to give one suggestion, I just feel that, requesting all the role players to put in their role and the name in the beginning will avoid. For example, today I had difficulty knowing who was the first evaluator and who was the grammarian. So that is just one suggestion. Otherwise, as usual, a brilliant meeting. Blue Quest, hats off. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much for such a great report, General Evaluator Padma. Thank you. Well, if anyone's been paying attention to me, I have a kitty who I've tried to put down and she keeps coming back. So it's in keeping with my last idiom for tonight. But before I do that, I just want to say everyone did a great job tonight. My hope is that it was a meeting full of hope and inspiration, that the speeches, they were thought-provoking. The evaluators rose to the occasion. There was some tough places to go there with evaluations, especially for poor Anna. And the role players did a great job. So back to cats. Now that the cat's out of the bag about idioms, see, there's another idiom. By the way, what is the deal with that particular idiom? I'm glad you asked. The most heavily cited explanation for why we say, let the cat out of the bag, dates back to the Middle Ages. As the story goes, shady livestock vendors in medieval marketplaces sought to swindle their buyers. When someone would purchase a pig, they were supposed to be in the bag, the little piglets, the vendor would sneak a cat into the bag instead, cheating the buyer out of the higher price for a pig. It wasn't until the buyer arrived at home and literally the cat came out of the bag, they let the cat out of the bag, that they'd realized they'd been scammed. Hence the phrase's association with revealing a secret. And there you go. So now the next time you use letting the cat out of the bag, you will know where it comes from. Now you know some of the stories behind these idioms. Don't be a wet blanket. Keep finding ways to use these idioms and create dynamic ways of expressing yourself. There are over 25,000 ways to express yourself through idioms. With that, I will hand it over to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Kapil Kakur.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Sheila. You were wonderful today. And it was a great meeting, great speakers, great evaluations, great table topics. Certainly not piece of cakes, but certainly it was worth enjoying, attempting it. Now, while Rupinder is compiling his results, we can take feedback from our guests. I'll start with Kuku. Kuku, are you with us?
Hello. Yes, I am. Just like the last time I was with this club, I'm amazed with the speaker and especially again the table topics part. You are great hosts and fluid when it comes to introducing the next speaker. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Kuku. Keith?
Remarks?
Hello?
Pardon, you asking for remarks?
I'm just asking for a general feedback, how you felt about today's meeting, any recommendations, anything?
Oh, I really enjoyed this one. This is my second meeting and it was great. I like the topic. It was very interesting. The speeches were very engaging, and I was happy to be a part of the table topics. I was really nervous the first meeting I came, and I just had to come back and try to give at least a sensible table topic. But I'll be back, even though that was one of the things I wanted to accomplish when I came here today.
Okay, thank you, Keith. Keep coming. Sumitra?
Yeah, hi. First of all, once again, very good morning to all the Toastmaster, and I'm not sure, I think someone from different region also, so there may be good evening for them, which I missed in my speech. And I like to thank Toastmaster Rupinder, because only him I got this opportunity to speak here today. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Rupinder. And throughout this session I really enjoyed, because in the morning time, if you have this kind of lovely session, your days will be most so good, I can say. And today I got a lot of feedback, and as it says that the best breakfast for a Toastmaster is the feedback. So that's, I can say that today I have my great breakfast till now, whatever I have till the day before yesterday. So thank you so much, and I'll try to join this your meeting whenever I'll get my time, and I am sure that I will join again and again. Thank you so much.
So you agree with the 5 a.m. club?
Yes, I used to wake up at 4 a.m., so I am in this route already.
Thank you, Sumitra. It was lovely hearing you today. Padma?
Yeah, I guess in the general evaluators report, I covered most of it. I just want to say that one thing that really strikes me about this club members is the presence of mind that everybody displays. So refreshing to see the presence of mind. And whenever I come to this club, I feel that sufficiently fed in my head, in my heart, and in my humor bone. All three get sufficient nourishment. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Padma. Rupinder, if you are ready with your results, we can show, you can show that, else we can just take up next week's role.
Okay, I am ready with the results. And before you take up the next week's role, we already have a table topics master, and she is one of the best that I have seen. So you should come next week. Kuku Rivera agreed to be a table topic master for next week. So that's one thing covered. I have seen her do table topics in Philippines, and she was phenomenal, the way she used the slides and everything. Okay, looking forward to an excellent time. Meanwhile, let me share my screen with you. Thank you for that endorsement that we should become a 5 a.m. club. I'm looking forward to meet you people at 5 a.m. For the Americans, this should not be a problem. For you, it will be what? 6:30 in the evening, 7:30 in the evening. I'm really doing it for you guys. No, I'm not. It was just a proposal. It was just a speech. But let's get started with our best auxiliary role player. And it's a piece of cake to know who our best auxiliary role player was. Many congratulations. Alisa Schneider. Great job done. Okay, maybe next time we should start having awards along the lines of, other than Elisa Schneider, people who won this award are, okay. Coming to the best table topic speaker, at the third position, you don't want to, you want to know what her email address is? Fake and spam email at gmail.com. But thankfully, she gave me her more reasonable email ID. Many congratulations, Cucu Rivera. I look forward to the table topic session next week. Our second best table topic speaker settles for nothing but the best, but since she already has got one award, which is for the best Ox role player, she decided to settle for the second best this time. Many congratulations, Alisa Schneider. I love that topic. Then our best table topic speaker today. They say that the early bird gets the worm, but if you stay up late enough, that can also get you awards. Keith Bryan. And before I move ahead, Keith, what time is it out there, wherever you are?
I'm surprised I got it, but it's 12:15 a.m.
Oh, that's not late. That's not late. That's not late. Yeah.
That's late. I have work in the morning.
Come on, Keith. There are only so many balls you can keep up in the air. That was another event. All right. Now let's look at the best speech evaluator. Unfortunately, one of them got disqualified on time, but that would not have mattered because the best speech evaluator, edging out her counterpart by just one vote, was Toastmaster Anna Whistler. Anna, that was a wonderful table topic as well. I mean, one of the best that I have heard. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. The best role player. It's a no-brainer. And a no-brainer is also an idiom, is what I would like to think. Many congratulations, Sheila McIntyre. Superb job done. I was wondering how you were going to pull off the idioms, but I have not seen a better display of a Toastmaster of the meeting. And to think that you're less than 6 months into the system. Wow. The best speaker, okay, is a moron, a big moron, not just in size also. Thank you, Rupinder Singh. You can thank your mom, your dad, your dog, your cat, your carrot, your parrot, your this, your that. That's it from my side. I'm going to stop the recording now. Thank you very much. Yes, I want to stop it.